about building an introduction today, and I'm going to go ahead and start with making a new doc. One thing I really want to do when I'm starting a document is get all of my settings correct. So I definitely want to title it. We're real bad about titling stuff at Afton. So this is summer school inquiry paper. I want to get my font and everything correct. So if I do this before I start, I never have to do this ever again. It's nice. I'm gonna set it to double space. I'm gonna have our name. I should put student name. Then I'm gonna have the title of the assignment. Now I'm going to have traditionally the teacher's name. Sometimes those are flipped. And then I'm going to have the due date, which is, if I can look it up really quickly, July 9th, right? No, July 2nd is our due date. I know that looks funny. It's a European way of doing it. We typically have a title. Mine's cheese souffle. And now I'm ready to go. I did mean to spell that with two F's. So now I'm ready to go. You notice I'm not putting any weird spaces or anything in here. We're writing a formal paper. There are a lot of things that are informal about this paper, but we want formatting and those types of things, citation to be proper. So I don't need to add any spaces. That's something that happened when we started using email all the time. Email doesn't allow for indentation, so we use spaces, and then it ruined our paper writing ability. So I'm going to dive into my introduction, and what's the real thing that I need to come across in my introduction? What am I writing about? And what did I learn, right? Those are the things that I want to detail. And so I'm going to start by just talking about that. I know in previous classes you've probably been taught to like have a hook or a quote or something, and I find those to be just a little inauthentic, a little kind of puffed up. And the intention is to try to get your audience engaged. And so I find just by being authentic, I'm going to get my audience engaged, right? So I might start to get to that question just by talking about my interest, right? So like I've So hopefully that silence wasn't too terrible and you were following along. But you get, I'm being personal here, right? This is a paper that's personal. It's a piece that's personal to you. It's a choice and interest that's personal to you. And so just looking at what I've tried to do, I've tried to tell a little bit of a story. This is why it matters to me. This is what I've done in the past. This is what I'm trying to do now. And so that makes for a very simple, excuse the pun, recipe to having a really successful introduction. I know introductions are particularly hard for struggling writers. The secret is they're hard for all of us. But the key is just getting something out on the page, right? We can always go back and change this a little bit. You see, like this is maybe for you, this is a little bit of a lengthy piece. For me, this is not much. I can kind of punch that out very quickly, as you saw. Um, and it's because I have a little bit of a formula, right? Here's the place where it took some interest for me. Here's what I have been doing. Here's what I plan to do. So I just have a little bit of an avenue there. And then as we get into next week, we'll talk about how do I fill in the rest of this.